Tonight, the Naked Grouse, 43% ABV, a blended malt whiskey. Let's get into this one.
Hey, she's naked. What is up?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. And it's probably going to be one of these guys, I think.
Yeah.
Bird on the bottle.
Birdie!
Bird on the bottle.
She's naked too, cover your eyes.
Ain't no clothes on that one.
Naked Grouse, guys.
Naked Grouse.
Part of the grouse series.
Yes.
You had the famous grouse, you had the smoky grouse. This is the naked grouse.
Naked
What's the
Grouse.
big difference between these two?
Well, this is when you start to transition from the normal blended malt that the grouse is famous for into the naked grouse. I'm sorry, the blended Scotch.
There you
before.
go. Yeah.
The smoky and the famous grouse are blended Scotches. So they've got grains in there, they've got malt in there. The rules are a little more loose. This is a blended malt.
Which means different single malts, perhaps, like Highland,
Only
Macallan's,
malts.
what we've heard rumors of. There's another one, too. I can't think of it right now, but
smell
supposedly it's a blend of some decent malts. So we may get some familiar smells, perhaps, and tastes.
We could. There's no grain in here, theoretically. So
What's the room?
Not theoretically.
There's no rumor. It's just I think it's Highland Park, some Macallan, some other
Okay.
different single malts that they blend together to make this a blended single malt. So what do you got there?
Check that thing out, man.
That's a brand
new coins. We've all got our own
Fresh
personalized
off-
coins.
The production line.
These are hot, man. These are super cool. So excited. This is the first review with our new coins.
It is. It is.
What's
So
exciting.
we've got the Zebra Hunter. We've got Bunker Commander. We've got Dr. Scotch, of course. I don't know where he's at right
I
now.
wish
but-
Dr. Scotch was here. I think he would like
He
this
would
coin.
love that
He
coin.
would love the coin.
And the Maestro. I don't know why the Maestro, but...
Because
you're in
without you,
charge,
it doesn't
man.
work.
It doesn't work.
So anyway, guys, the Naked Grouse around, let's just say $25 to $30.
Sure.
Okay.
And it's
Wow, that's
43
43.
ABV. So this is pretty much. Oh, by the way, it's also finished in Oloroso sherry for like 6 months or so.
So it is an NAS, so we don't know the actual age of it.
Something like that's
but
what I heard.
there is an Oloroso finish on it. We
Yeah,
know that much.
they use the cheap route of ex-bourbon and some English or whatever oak barrels and whatnot, and then they finished it a little bit just to get a little bit of sherry influence.
And that's where the naked part comes from, because they're first fill Oloroso casks, and
That
they've never
nose-
had whiskey in them before.
Holy moly!
Okay.
Beautiful nose.
Yeah, it's not trivial on the nose.
For $25 to $30.
Wow.
I mean, I'm getting a little bit of new make maybe, but
Really?
not much.
Yeah. So let's
I
talk
think-
about comparisons too. This is right next to, if you were to, okay, you guys will get it right away. What's the other comparison bottle that you're going to think of?
Monkey
It's-
Shoulder.
Exactly, right? So that's the same price range, $30.
Yep.
$30 and Monkey Shoulder blended malt as well.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's right. 3, Balvenie, Kinnevy, and Glenfiddich, I think?
Fiddick.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So
So
comparisons.
we don't know exactly what malts are in
That's the
this
difference.
particular bottle.
Yes.
I like the sherry on there, though.
You can smell
it's,
the
sherry.
It's
The sherry-
heavier than I thought it would
It's
be.
very sherry forward on the nose. And maybe that's where I'm getting. I think it's. I said new make, but I don't really think that's what it is. I think there's a little bit of heat to the nose.
So, wait a minute.
I don't know. It
feels
had like
young.
a when I first nosed it, I got a little bit of like sulfury.
Thank
Nume.
you.
I got a lot
Macallan
of
in here?
I got a lot of the sherry influence, and that was kind of underneath it all. Like once the sherry kind of wafted off a little bit, I got just a quick nose of that. And I'm not usually sensitive to that. That's usually this guy.
I was going to say it, but I wanted to see if someone else would pick it up.
I
So you
got
covered
it.
that for me. But honestly, I think the sherry's stronger than I'm getting more
Mhm.
sherry influence than sulfur. It's really over the top.
Well, and
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
get it anymore. It was
Really?
just that initial nose.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
A lot of honey and toffee, even some apples on the nose. You know, this is we've been told before. This is a favorite among a lot of our patrons for the cheap line coming in. Right? They
Yeah.
say this is actually gives you a lot more than you think it is for the price range.
This is almost in the same price range as like.
Oh, I got the
JB.
cork.
Oh, that's convenient.
It came out.
Perfect.
Somebody had to get it. Winner,
You're
winner.
welcome.
Huh.
So I'm not getting any like heavy mustiness or any of that kind of stuff that
Nope.
would suggest an older whiskey. So that makes sense. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not old.
I will say it's got a really unique finish.
Talk to me.
I got I got like a. So all the sweet was up front, you know. That sherry influence is definitely there, and then as that faded away, I got more of a. It had a spice note that kind of transitioned into like a black licorice kind of thing going on.
Yeah, a hint of that.
Yeah,
A
okay.
hint of that.
I was on with you on the spice. I was like, all right, he's gonna, and then it got real salty, not briny, not like a sea salt, but almost like a table.
White
salt.
pepper, like at the end.
Yeah, I was
Really?
thinking more black pepper, but that black licorice, the pepper, all that kind of goes in that same flavor wheel.
Yeah.
Flavor wheel.
But I'm
Okay.
curious with water.
I
know it's
can
low
see your
ABV,
table
but-
salt. It's got an iodine quality.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Like
go.
that's where you're getting it.
But it's got a nice upfront sweetness to it that's really appealing, and that little sherry notes to it.
So what else is in this price point, right? So I'm thinking of other blends, and they don't have to be blended malts.
Well,
so
yeah.
you know
that's the
we've
difference.
we've got Johnny Walker Black is right, $30.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be there,
You've got Cuddy Sark, J&B. Those guys they're grains.
right?
Those are going to be lower, I think, though, right?
Yeah, those are actually probably
20,
a little bit cheaper.
25.
What was
Well,
the
you
regular? What was the famous?
I was just
grouse?
gonna say the grouse is not that bad either. I think it's like
25.
35.
25.
I thought it was a little more than that, but
I think this is more expensive than the famous, though.
is it? Okay.
I think this one's about $5 more. And I didn't bother to look at our review on the famous grouse or the smoky grouse. We did a comparison video, I don't know, a month or
Recently,
so
yeah.
ago, not 2 months ago, where we did both of those in the same review. And I
Wow.
didn't look at those numbers because I really didn't want to have an expectation coming into this.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to go compare them after the fact. But
this is pretty good, guys. That finish is starting to not be as long. It's starting to blend in more. I'm getting used to it, but it's got a nice balance.
I'm
I
still
see.
trying to get over it. Like I like it up front, but I'm not a fan of the finish.
It feels awkward to me. It doesn't. It kind of like jerks from a sweet to kind of a pepper, and it does. It doesn't.
you the
It, does,
robot?
it doesn't smooth. Yeah, my robot. It just kind of jerks between flavors. I'm not getting a good transition.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's. I hear what you're saying. It doesn't. Maybe not. The blend up front is nice for me, but I can see what you're saying with the pepper. I think my second sip now is a little bit more blended than my first one. Not as edgy.
So I added some water to mine. So you guys got to get it.
yeah, I'm thinking about it too. So I'm wondering if this finish that I'm getting is because of like what I had for dinner, or because it really is just leaving that a salty note on my tongue.
I'm getting honestly, it's like a salty iodine kind of thing going on.
Almost
Yeah.
like after I've eaten, a dill pickle, maybe 20 minutes later. Not
Okay,
vinegary, but
Yeah. I know what you're saying now. I get
it's
it too
just
now.
stuck there.
It is kind of like a bit of pickle juice almost.
Yeah, I don't want to, give people the impression that it's over the top and I'm drinking a jar of pickle juice. Not that at all. It's just there's.
It's after you've eaten one and you kind of taste it like 10 minutes later. It's like, oh, I had a pickle.
Right.
It's
I love the nose. I think it's wonderful for $30.
the nose is really nice, and I like it up front. It's the finish that is
Getting to you?
a little disjointed.
I
to
think
me.
the water helps it.
Do you think so?
I do.
I was
think
nervous
think
about that at
smooth-
43%.
It seems to smooth everything out a little bit for me tonight.
If it tames that spice down just
It
a
does.
wee bit and knocks that salty long aftertaste, I think it'll really be good. For me.
It pulls the sweet down a little bit. It pulls everything down a little bit, and I think now, admittedly, you're just watering it down, but it does seem
Sure.
to kind of smooth everything out a little bit.
The nose is definitely, I get more sherry in the nose too with the water.
Well, and I would think at this price point that they're thinking you're probably making a cocktail with it.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
Yeah, I mean, this is not their high-end blend, obviously. They're putting together for $30. They wanted to do a blended malt, and this is what they put out. Non-age statement. But they did take the time to put it in first fill old roast sherry cask, so they do care about that
Yeah.
flavor.
And I think it adds a dimension to the Scotch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can definitely. I was
Absolutely.
shocked at how much Oloroso I got on the
Up
nose
front,
when I
absolutely.
first smelled it.
Yeah. It's
So, because I mean, honestly, at $30, I'm not expecting that. At
it's
all.
almost
Right.
too generous.
So-
Like, wow, we're getting some nice stuff here,
Right.
guys.
All right, I'm close. I'm close
All
to
the
being
rest
able to
is
go
out.
here.
I will say the
top
water, I put a little bit on there. It definitely rounded off the edges a little bit. I think it's a little weaker now. but I like it's not as edgy as it was before.
Yeah, I think it's still got enough flavor though. I added a little bit to start, added a little bit more now. I need to give it a second, but
Okay.
I didn't see a dramatic flavor change, a
Okay.
dramatic drop in potency of flavor when I added
Okay.
water to it.
What you got, Mark?
So up front, I absolutely love the nose. I love that Oloroso up front. It's there. Yeah, underneath it in the beginning, there's a hint of a sulfur note, but it's not off-putting by any means. And the sherry is up front, so it really, it blocks it really well. The neat palate up front, it hits your mouth and it's like, all right, this is pretty good. Then there comes in a pretty good spicy note, and it's not like an over the hot peppery pot. It's a white pepper. Sure, that was a good somewhere in that neighborhood. I just can't get past that long finish of this salty. I don't want to say vinegary, but table salty something. You said iodine, and it lasts and it's sticking with me for a long time. Now, is that what I had for lunch or something? I don't think it is, but with water, it was okay. The nose is still there. I love the nose on this. For $30, it's a great nose. It did tame things down and just soften everything up. It pushed the spicy note a little bit softer into the aftertaste, right? So it lasted with me a lot longer. And then when it finally did go away, there was that table salt again. So I keep leaning back on $30, guys. $30. I see us killing a bottle of this on a boat in no time. You know what I mean? Because I'm not ashamed to drink it out of the bottle for $30.
Right.
So I really got to think about what it is, and I'm trying to compare this in my mind. If I had $30 and I walk into a liquor store, am I going to buy Johnny Walker Black? Am I going to get Famous Grouse or Smoky Grouse or Monkey Shoulder? Monkey Shoulder is damn hard to beat. I really think I need to do a head-to-head comparison between the two to really see what's going on. I'm going to give this, I'm stuck between a 2 and a 2.5. Man, that long aftertaste is really just getting me in the crawls, and I don't like that. I'm going to stick with a solid 2. The nose is great. $30, you can't go wrong. Sean hit the nail on the head. You're not ashamed to put this in a mixer at all. And maybe on the next time I try this, I think we do need to marry this up against Monkey Shoulder to see where it goes. Maybe it hits me a little bit different. I think it's a solid, blended malt, that's for sure, but 2 for me.
Okay. I agree with what you said, but I will tell you this has enough flavor that this would actually be good with a rock in it. If you're out on a boat or you want to hang out in the evening, it's been able to hold the water well enough, and there's enough flavor in it that I think it's kind of interesting. This is I think a blend between Johnny Walker Black, because there's some of that bitter black tea, almost smokiness in there, and the Monkey Shoulder, which I think of a more sweet, less bitterness, kind of lighter kind of apple and kind of flavor to it. This is a really good mix. I think this is, boy, this is a tough one between. Do I like this better than the Johnny Black? Because a glass of Johnny Walker Black on the rocks is fantastic. This, I think, could be right up there with it if you want a little less smoke and a little more sherry. It's really a good blend. I'm going to give it a solid 2.5.
Cool,
I think
good
for
for
$30,
you.
it may be almost a 3, because I think this has the potential for lots of options with it. And for $30, you can explore those. Can you imagine a Rob Roy with this? It'd be fantastic.
It would be.
It's got enough flavor there. It'd be great.
And I think that so far you guys are on point, and I think Sean's going to cover it in his. The only thing that I will say is a little, not even off-putting, just a little bit of like, what is that? Is the finish. Everything else about it is fantastic. One thing I will say, guys, is name another $30 Scotch that in this price range with that kind of Oloroso.
That you want, and what you want to eat, drink, and eat.
There's none.
With that kind of Oloroso, you're absolutely
There's
right.
none. Monkey Shoulder's great, fantastic. I think
it.
I already gave it a 4 because it's malty. It's got some complexity. This doesn't have the complexity it does. But if you like sherry bombs for $30,
This is a
It's
cherry
true.
bomb.
You're
you
right about
cannot
that.
go wrong with this. This is a fantastic bottle.
Maybe it is a 3.
For me, I'm at
2.5.
least going to give it a 3 right now, unless I tuck myself up, because I think for the price of this, the flavors you're going to get, it's not complex, guys. It's not going to blow you away. But for $30, it shouldn't blow you away. $30, you should go in this going, man, this is affordable. I'm getting a nice blended malt. I'm getting, probably quality, it may be young. No, it's okay. It's all right. But it's Oloroso. It's done well. Great nose. Great palate. Although the finish is a little, it's okay. You can blend it with some water and get some flavors out of it. Actually, I'm going to go 3.5. I think this is a delicious blend for all you're going to get out of it. I know you're going to kill me because rain 3.5, everything else, but it's the combo, guys. It's the price. It's everything else you get out of it. And I'm also Oloroso head, so I'm pretty impressed with this.
Fair enough.
He double tapped it.
I'm not going to give it a 3.5. I think I'm more in line with you, Mark. I really love the nose. Like from the very first sniff of this glass, I'm like, wow, that
good stuff coming.
Yeah, you put it in a sherry cask. Good for you. I mean, there was no mistaking it. I think it's the finish that kind of threw me off. But I took the grand tour with this glass. I added water 2 or 3 times, and at the end, I took a sip and I was like, oh, black tea. Right before you said it. And I was like, oh, I got to remember that to put it in my review, right? But that salty, like iodine quality at the end somehow transformed into like dark chocolate and black tea. And I'm like, that's weird. I didn't see that coming at all.
Water helps.
So I would say that this particular bottle lends itself to cocktails, to drinking on the rocks. Like it's got enough oomph that you're going to get some flavor out of it drinking it with a big ball of ice on it. That it's fine, and you're not going to feel guilty about it because it's $30. The only thing I can really knock it for is that briny, salty quality on the neat. And the first time I added water, it went down, but it didn't really go away, and it just felt a little disjointed to me. And that part of it I just couldn't get behind. And it's obviously lacking a little bit of complexity, but it's a $30 bottle, so what do you want? So I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. I think it's a good glass. For $30, there's nothing really wrong with it, but that briny quality kind of threw me off just a little bit. So I think if you're going to play around with it and see what you come up with, you might be surprised with this bottle.
So I add a little bit more
because
that briny long after is wafting off. It's disappearing. So I wanted to top it off and see if it comes back.
I think you guys have like an ocean spray in front of you because I don't get any of that iodine in there. In fact, when I added water, I think the finish is sweet now. It has an early finish of that black tea, but then it's just like the sweet.
I don't know if it was the like tannic quality or what it was, but I mean, like the second, third sip that I took neat, I mean, it was like Mark hit it on the head. It was like table salt almost. Like it was. Like if you put a tablespoon of table salt and it just like punched you in the face with it, it was like that.
Wow.
Well, that's definitely
real sweetness on the nose now.
That's definitely off-putting. So
right.
But I mean, guys, it is
but
what
you're
it
not
is.
getting that.
Not as bad.
Not
Maybe a hint of it, not nearly as bad as you guys. That could be what you ate, but. Guys, let us know what you guys think of this. I'm really curious about your comments.
Range.
I'm sure you're going to blow me up for giving it 3.5 because I know you're like 3.5 for this.
No, they're going to blow Mark
and you
up
gave
for
an
giving
art
it
big
2.
blah, blah, blah. 2. Well, listen, it's all about the blend of everything for me. It's the price, all the above. And by the way, it's just an opinion. So hopefully you like it. At the end of the day, $30, you can't go wrong with this bottle.
I need that on your
agree
bar
with you
if
on
you
that.
got it.
I think every good Scotch drinker needs this on their bar just for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or something in this range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A monkey, like whatever your palate is, go for that.
Yeah.
So
you know what? You can join us on Thursday nights and let us know how you feel about
That's
it.
a great idea.
Because we're going to be on this Thursday night. Oh, yeah, check that out.
So what'd you get? You did a 2?
I gave it a 2. I'm going to stick
2.5.
to it. I thought
I did
about
a
raising
3.5.
2.5.
That math is
We'll figure
Too
it
hard
out
for
on
me.
the
He said
credits.
it's too hard.
2.875, give or take.
Something like that. Math is hard.
He's a 3.5, so it's
Oh, he was a 3.5. Yeah. Yeah, math is hard.
2.6,
get your calculator out
2.5
for that
maybe?
one.
I don't know.
We'll figure it
figure
out.
it out.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on Thursday.
Cheers,
boys.
everyone. Thanks
Naked
for
Grouse. Who's
Sancho.
Shirts and Skins?
Shirts and blouses. Blouses. Let's get naked and see what this is about.
Okay. That would be kind of funny. Let's go, boys!
boys! They start manning up.
Shirts and
Church of
skins.
kids.
Suddenly our viewer percentage goes from 98% men.
Unsubscribe.
So as soon when the screen goes black, you need to have a bunch of clothes flying through the air or something. They don't know what they're gonna see.
And we all need to start the video where everybody's only their head is on camera. Hello.
We can play. You can leave your hat on.
Like the chili peppers, all four of us are standing in socks with our hats.
It's a Naked Grouse.
Oh.